Welcome to Carlisle Station, the northern terminus of the West Coast Main Line Preston to Carlisle route. Situated on the West Coast Main Line, this Grade 2 listed structure oversees a wide range of services throughout the day. Its location is some 102 miles southeast of Glasgow Central and 299 miles northwest of London Euston. Looks like there's a missing route map over there. Let's head over to it and fix it whilst you are here. There are a lot more tasks across the route, so be sure to find and replace the missing route maps and enjoy the mint cake. Cumbria is well known for its mint cake. There are also rail tours that will take place, so be sure to put up the special advertising posters for them. If you happen to come across any luggage that has fallen onto the platform, please be sure to place it back onto the trolley. Plus, keep your eyes peeled for some model castles. Follow the markers to board the train before it departs. Take a seat anywhere you like. Our journey begins at Carlisle Station, which opened in September 1847 under its original name of Carlisle Citadel. This name lasted all the way through until 1948, where it was renamed to its current name, Carlisle. The station is a key part of the West Coast Main Line from London to Glasgow, as it forms the central point of the route and is an important interchange for trains through the northwest of England, Scotland and beyond. It provides connections from such places as Newcastle along the Tyne Valley, Leeds via the Settle and Carlisle route, along with the Cumbrian coast. Trunk services for Glasgow and London also serve this important station. This is the British Rail Class 87 electric locomotive in the BR Blue livery. You are currently sat on board a Mark 3A coach. The Class 87, nicknamed Vans, were introduced between 1973 and 1975, with a total of 36 locomotives built. The loco was designed in conjunction with the extension of the West Coast Main Line between Weaver Junction, Preston, Carlisle and Glasgow as a high-performance locomotive which could tackle and maintain speeds along the route, which was especially required in the challenging northern half in areas such as Shap and Beatock Summit. These powerful locomotives have a top speed of 110 miles per hour, which means they can keep up to the timetable with ease. Alongside the Class 87, you will also be able to drive the BR Class 47 diesel locomotive, the BR Class 08 diesel shunter, and the BR Class 101 diesel multiple unit. These locomotives will provide you with a wide variety of experiences, meaning you can drive all kinds of services encompassing passenger, freight and parcel trains. Tap into what the West Coast Main Line has to offer, with a wide variety of changing scenery, from local rail travel to the seaside town of Morecambe, to the high-speed services that run north and south, or take things back a notch, driving freight services along the route. The choice is yours. Look out for many iconic landmarks along the way, such as the Church of St Walburg in Preston, the impressive castle which overlooks Lancaster Station, or maybe just take in the views of the Loon Gorge as your locomotive winds its way through the valley to its destination. Across the route, you will also see characterful signal boxes and distinctive stations. Welcome to West Coast Main Line, Preston to Carlisle. This is the British Rail Class 87 locomotive in BR Corporate Blue livery. In this brief introduction, we will go through various procedures such as cab setup, passenger door operations, driving and stopping. You will need to enter the locomotive to get started. Head over there now, and why not take... To activate this cab, you must lift up the change end lever. This must be activated always from the lead cab, otherwise you will not be able to take control of the locomotive. Sit in the driver's seat to continue the setup procedure. Set the master key to activate the driver's desk. Headlights and markers are used to inform others around that this locomotive is active. The headlight will only illuminate, however, once the reverser is set to forward or reverse. The guard has given you the clearance for departure by giving you 2 audible beeps from the NHA guard compartment. Acknowledge receipt of this by responding with 2 tones. Set the master switch to the forward position. To release the brakes, move and hold the train brake handle to the release and overcharge position. Observe the brake gauge. Once they are released, you can let go. It will spring back into the running position. The power controller is controlled by the notching lever, also known as a tap changer, which has 6 notches: off, run down, notch down, hold, notch up and run up. Notch up is to be used for the gradual application of power when starting trains away, or to increase power by small amounts whilst running by moving the power controller to and fro between the hold and notch up position. The notch position can be increased one at a time over the whole of the notching range. During notching up, the traction motor ammeters should be observed to ensure the ammeter needles do not remain in the red sector for long periods and that they remain approximately level. Hold is used to retain the selected notch position once the desired speed has been attained. Run up is to be used to increase power rapidly when, for example, the power has been shut off or reduced for coasting at speed, by notching the power controller automatically. The power controller is spring loaded in this position and will return to the notch up position when released. Notch down is to be used to reduce power one notch at a time by moving the power controller to and fro between hold and notch down positions. Each complete movement reduces the tap changer position by one notch. Run down is to be used to reduce power when the desired speed is attained, or to quickly reduce the notch position prior to moving the power controller to off. This avoids a sudden chopping off of power as the secondary and motor contact is open, which could produce drawbar shocks along the Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain a constant speed and reduces motor stress and maintenance requirements. Moving the power controller to off means the traction motor contactors are open, hence no power can reach the traction motors. The tap changer is also used to provide braking effort via the rheostatic brake, which uses the traction motors to brake the locomotive. This is done by turning the motors into generators, which convert the kinetic energy of the locomotive into electricity. This excess electricity is sent to a bank of resistors, which dissipates the energy in a form of heat. A set of blowers are provided below the resistors, which speed up in proportion to the strength of the rheostatic brake applied, resulting in the classic wailing sound whilst braking. Unique to the Class 87, this locomotive is fitted with a power brake switch on the train brake handle, which means that as soon as you move the train brake handle away from running, traction power is cut and approximately 500 amps of rheostatic brake is applied. Once the tap changer is completely notched down, normal rheostatic brake performance will resume. Approaching the station. Begin applying a small amount of braking force by moving the brakes into the braking range. Good work. That concludes the basics of this locomotive. Welcome to the Class 47 locomotive in BR Corporate Blue livery. This brief introduction will go through startup, stopping and passenger door operations. A lot of time will be spent in the locomotive cab, so climb aboard to get started. To get the locomotive started, set the battery isolation switch. Sit in the driver's seat to get started. The master key is used to activate the control desk. Move the reverser into the engine only position. The locomotive is now ready to be started. Use the straight air brake to hold the locomotive during the start-up procedure. Release the brakes to allow the system to charge. Use the reverser to set the direction of travel. High intensity headlights and markers are used to inform others around that this locomotive is active. Almost ready. Release the remaining brakes, the parking brake and straight air brake. Increase the throttle to start moving. Do not apply too much power too quickly. It's important to provide a smooth ride for passengers. Stopping a train in the right place is a skill that takes years of practice. It might take a few attempts to get it right. Now let's try stopping at a station and boarding passengers. The key aspect is to make a gentle, controlled approach. Depending on the speed of the train, begin braking between 1 and 1.5 miles from the platform. Give a quick glance at the platform to ensure all is safe, then unlock the doors. Good work. You have covered the basics of driving a Class 47 diesel locomotive. Welcome to this Class 08 diesel electric shunting locomotive in BR Corporate Blue livery. This brief introduction will go through the start and stop procedures. Before entering the locomotive, the battery isolation switches need setting. Start with the left side. As with the left battery isolation switch, set the right side. Enter the cab and continue preparations. Active lights are important to let others around know that this locomotive is operational. A lot of time will be spent driving, so take a seat to continue. Go ahead and start the locomotive. Now that the engine is running, the master switch needs to be set. The main reservoir will take a moment to charge. This can be observed by watching the brake dials. To ensure that nothing moves while preparations continue, adjust the locomotive brake accordingly. The locomotive brake is holding the train, so the rest of the brakes can be released. The reverser is used to set the direction of travel. It's time to move. Set the locomotive brake as indicated. Increase the throttle to start moving. Do not apply too much power too quickly. With the locomotive now moving, it's possible to apply more power and focus on achieving the desired speed. work. That concludes all the basics of this locomotive. Welcome to this Class 101 3-car diesel mechanical multiple unit in British Rail blue and grey livery. This brief introduction will cover start-up, stopping and passenger operations. Before getting started, some of the controls must be set in the rear cab. Head over and climb aboard. While the brakes in the lead vehicle hold the train, set this brake as indicated. Everything's set now here, so head to the front of the train to continue preparations. When ready, sit in the driver's seat. The control circuit key is used to activate the driver's desk. Do not worry about the buzzer, this will stop once all handbrakes are released. Set the handbrake as indicated. White marker lights will indicate to anyone around that this is the front of the operational train. This train features 2 engines in each driving vehicle. Let's start up the left side engines first. Now that the left side engines are turned on, let's start the engines on the right hand side of the vehicle. Give a quick glance at the platform to ensure all is safe, then unlock the doors. Use the reverser to set the direction of travel. This train features a gear system similar to cars on the road. To attain higher speeds, the active gear must be increased at the appropriate time. When accelerating and the RPM dial has reached the top of the yellow zone, it is appropriate to change upper gear. The brakes on this train act like a water tap. The higher the setting, the faster the train will stop. Open the valve to select the desired pressure, then close it again to maintain that pressure. Increase the throttle to start moving. Do not apply too much power too quickly. It's important to provide a smooth ride for passengers. The process of changing gear has several steps. Set the throttle to idle and allow the engine RPM to reduce below the yellow zone. Engage the new gear, then return to the desired throttle application. Let's try. Observe that the train now has the ability to accelerate to a higher speed. When the RPM dial reaches the top of the yellow zone, repeat the gear change process to continue accelerating. Start applying a small amount of brake force now to achieve a comfortable stop. Well done. Practice makes perfect. Give a quick glance at the platform to ensure all is safe, then unlock the doors. Good work. You have now covered the basic operations of the Class 101 diesel multiple unit.